Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television and radio talk show, Where Truth Matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You can find us on television, and that's Abundant Television, found worldwide. That's through Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. Another way you can find us is on the radio, and you know what, Killer Beaz, you're going to love this. Right here in Abbeville, South Carolina, where you're going to be this weekend. So we're on WZLA. They are the biggest country station around. So we are so proud to be affiliated with them as well. You can also find us on social media, all the sites. This social media, we are doing it. Continue sending email. It's the apple of my eye. I love hearing from you. Donna at donnasedge.com. Donna at donnasedge.com. I've been looking forward to this interview right here with Killer Beaz. I got to ask, though, how in the world did you get that name?
Well, that is a good question. My last name, Donna. One, thank you for having me on.
Always.
And I'm tickled as all get out, but my last name is Beasley. And you know how people will abbreviate your last name? They called me Beaz while I was growing up. And way back in old Tommy days, I was a blues guitar player in Jackson, Mississippi. Ooh. And I would run out in front of whatever little band to do my guitar stuff. And the people that knew me, Donna, would go, "That was Killer Beaz." And the people that didn't know me thought they were saying that was Killer Beaz on guitar. Uh-huh. So that sort of became my blues guitar player name for a while. And when I started doing stand-up comedy, the last week of June 1982, I just kept that stage name. And it served me real, real well because it's memorable, because it's an oddball, name for an entertainer. People think it's a group or whatever. And I'll see folks all the time that tell me that they were on a cruise or whatever, and they saw a comedian that was great. And I'll ask them, I go, "Well, who was it?" Because I probably know him. I've been around a long time. And they go, "We can't remember his name." So without design on my part, I have that stage name that people will remember. So it is really a blessing that it went that way. So God was looking out for me way back then to help my career all the way into now. So that's how that came to be.
I'm a beekeeper. So when I first heard of you years ago, I thought, is this guy a beekeeper? I mean, I didn't know if it was just like, he's going to be the beekeeper king of the world. I'm going to be able to get all kinds of advice from this guy. And,
well, it piques people's interests, it does.
Mm-hmm. Anything to do with bees. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so how long have you been doing this? And what did you do prior? What was your other life like?
Well, I've been doing this gig for 44 and a half years. It's been my life's work, if you will. But way back in old Tommy days, I was a first responder. When I was a senior in high school, 17 years old, I was, to my knowledge, the youngest person in the state of Mississippi to run emergency ambulance calls. I was the guy, Donna, that worked on you in the back. And so it was a very, very interesting and high energy gig, if you will, back then. This predated 911. This was back in the day when people had rubberized refrigerator magnets with the ambulance phone number on them. And so I worked every other night and every other weekend. So I was late for school a lot because I would be on an active call lots of times early in the morning, and my relief guy couldn't get to me because we would be out on a call. So they waived the tardy rule at school because they knew what kind of work I did, and I had an English teacher, Nancy Graham, who would allow me to come up to the front of the class and tell my classmates why I was late that day. And at that point in time, to me, that was like cool as all get out. That was rock and roll, man. I got to tell
Mhm.
all this gnarly stuff, you know. But years later, I realized how cathartic that was for me to be able to verbalize the things that we had been through and had to deal with the night before.
Yeah.
So several years later, she actually came to a show of mine in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I was able to introduce her to the audience and thank her for doing that for me. So that was a really neat thing to see that happen all those years later. But I had some other gigs that I did. I worked in a soybean oil mill for a
Oh,
couple of years, processing soybean oil. I worked for a linen company, delivering work uniforms to different businesses. So I was one of these people, Donna, that when they asked me, what do you want to do when you grow up? I had no clue. I had no idea. And I had this feeling that I didn't want to pick something of the 4 or 5 things they told you were available when you were growing up in the deep South. I didn't want to pick something and not knowing what else was out there. And so I did, these
have
different
a choice.
jobs and
Mhm.
until I finally got the chance to attempt to perform stand-up comedy. And I've been funny since I was a little bitty baby. The Here's my earliest memories of my whole life. We lived in a funeral home in Kosciuszko, Mississippi, when I was around 3 or 4 years old. My dad was a funeral director and an embalmer, and we lived in the funeral home in an apartment. And I can remember, and once again, my earliest memories, I remember seeing sad people come and go from where I lived, and I had no concept of life and death and stuff.
Mhm.
And I had the run of the place. I was always up and down the hallways, and I learned, Donna, that I could do cute little silly stuff, and the crying people would stop crying and
Oh,
come over and smile and talk to me. And
uh-huh.
I believe to this day that that is what has fed my compulsion to make people laugh and smile. I don't do good around stoic people. I want to see smiles. I want people to at least act like they're
Uh-huh.
happy for the day God gave us until, at least 10:30 or 11. We realize it's going to crash like yesterday. But that has fueled my compulsion. I do believe that my entire life. And so I read a lot growing up. I was a voracious reader, so I'm pretty good at wordsmithing and
Uh-huh.
the turn of a phrase and stuff like that. And unbeknownst to me, all those years, it was setting me up for this career where I get to make people laugh and smile for a living. And it has been
I've
an
got to ask you a question. Okay, so
yes.
let's get started this way. Okay, because we're all over the country right now. Okay, you're talking to folks in New York or whatever. Texas people are going to understand me and you, but the folks in New York, California, sometimes they don't get us. You know what I mean? So, what are some typical phrases that you and I is common to us? I mean, we're all about
Well, well,
that they would.
bless your heart. Bless
Yeah.
your heart is one. And I contend that bless your heart or bless their heart is not generally a put down. When my family would say, well, bless somebody's heart, they meant that with empathy. And so that's one of the things. But here's something I found out when I went national and started working places like Seattle, Portland, Chicago, Indianapolis. I
Mhm.
learned that people are the same, Donna, from every corner of this country. There
Mhm.
are some subtle differences in accents and the type of foods that are there, but for the most part, the human struggle is the same. People
Mhm.
are love their job or they wish they were doing something else. their kids are making them super proud or they're scaring them to death. It's just, it's, it's the human condition is the same for all of us, no matter what region we live in, no matter what political slant we are affiliated with, those same struggles are there. And so, way back, I learned not to make my act regional, to be able to do an act that the people in Phoenix would have as much hearing as the people in Charlotte or the people in Corpus Christi or wherever. So that's kind of what I do. And of course, there was a learning curve to that. When you start out, you just go with what you know. One of the southerny things that I talk about in my act is having a Christmas tree that was too big. I tell the audience that my kids and I cut the tree ourselves. And I go, and you know how it is when you do stuff with your kids?
Yeah.
It's like, no, Daddy, get a big tree. That's a baby tree. And I go on to tell them we got a huge tree. It was way too big. We got it home, put it up. There's a deer stand in it. so, so people who are in rural areas get that. But I have been to some markets where I will do that line and I can see audience members go, what's a salt lick? What is that? So what's a tree stand? What is that? So there are references that different regions or different metropolitan areas get or don't get. So you have to be able to appeal to people from all over.
Oh, you do.
And that's what I try to do.
And it's so fun when you go somewhere. I had a business trip one time to New York, and it happened to be my birthday. So the corporate people took me out to eat for my birthday at this really nice, fancy restaurant. It was just beautiful. So this guy walks in, and by the way, I don't drink. So he wanted to know what I want. Everybody was doing wine and all the champagne and all this kind of stuff. So he wanted to know what I wanted, and I said sweet tea. It blew that guy. I thought he was going to pass out. He said, "Excuse me?" And I said, "Sweet tea." And I'm thinking, he can't understand me because I've got Southern English. And then I said, okay, wait a minute. I want a cup of hot water, and then just bring me a tea bag and bring me lots of sugar. And and it was so funny. And we were just all having a good time. All the people there were Northerners. And so this guy just kept coming back to the table over and over again. This woman said, I think he has a crush on you. And I said, no, he's making fun of me. He's making fun of my voice. And so I finally looked at him and I said, are you making fun of me? And he would say something, just anything. I just want you to talk. I just want you to. So when I got home, I said, honey, this guy actually wanted me to talk. And he said, really?
Yeah.
Why? So do people, I understand. So, but we're all different and we're all the same at the same time. It's
right,
incredible.
exactly.
And you can learn so many things from people when you visit different areas.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and that's always the case. And that learning curve never ends. And that's another cool thing about it. It is, I'm going to say this, it has been such an enriching thing and such a blessing for me to get to travel to other lands to perform stand-up. It has been really, really fun and eye-opening. And we've performed in Montreal. We've performed in Alaska. We performed on 4 of the Hawaiian Islands. And I say we because I am married to my manager, brilliant, and we traveled together. And I tell you, the toughest audiences I've had were in Hawaii because there were so many people there from different cultures. So many people from different countries, and you really need to be in tune with the culture of the comedian or the speaker to really identify with what the stories are and what they're saying. So that's, once again, you only learn that when you're out there doing it. So it's still a learning curve to this day, and I don't know how many thousands and thousands of performances I've done over the almost 45 years now. But it is incredibly, incredibly rewarding. And I'm going to say this, not bragging, but bragging, it is a very hard art form. I would contend, Donna, that spoken word is the toughest art form out there, because the gist of what you're saying, for people to get it, it all hinges on word choice, turn of a phrase, dynamics, inflection. And it is so fragile because any kind of environmental thing can disrupt that. If it's too hot in the showroom, people don't laugh as well. If you're in a showroom that the showroom next door has a band played and there's music bleeding in, that can distract them. So it's a very very fragile art form, and it took me rather a solid 10 years to really get a handle on it. And then after 25 years, I was like, you know what? Now I'm learning how to do it. And now, almost 45 years in, I'm like, hey, I think I got this figured out. So it's a very, very fluid performance when you're on stage, because it just depends on how that audience is feeling and what is going on in their lives. We did an example of that. We did shows in Oklahoma City, and years ago, my opening night at the comedy club there was the same day that the authorities had announced they were no longer looking for survivors of the Murray federal building that was bombed by Timothy McVeigh. And that community had been through a full week of just horror, just absolute heartbreak. And the show was sold out, and I got practically zero laughs. And they were all fans of mine. I had got zero laughs because they were so emotionally empty.
They were drained.
They were absolutely drained, and that community had been hurt so bad that they all came out. One, they needed distraction.
Yeah.
They needed that distraction, but bless their hearts, they were just so fatigued and mentally and emotionally shredded from it. So sometimes it's not the comedian's fault if you're not getting laughs. And it's gigs like that stick out to me because that was such a heartfelt and heart rendering, because I knew a lot of the people. And so it was absolutely that one sticks out of my mind. There are so many that will stick out of my mind for really good turnouts and stuff. But if you care about your art form and about your audience, when they're hurting, you're hurting.
Absolutely.
So just some of the stuff that I've gleaned and done throughout the years that have stuck with me to help build me up maturity wise, emotionally wise, and all that stuff.
Let's go into a commercial break, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes. We're a little behind, but that's okay. We're going to catch up.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Television and Radio Talk Show, where truth matters. That's why we have Killer Beaz with us right now. So first of all, you're going to be in Abbeville, South Carolina, this coming weekend. Have you been to Abbeville before?
I have, and I love that theater in the middle of the stage. Y'all may all know this, but it blew me away. In the middle of the stage, there's a patch in the floor where they built Harry Houdini's trap door for his act way back in like 1904, something like that. And to me, that is just the coolest thing in the world. One, just to be on a stage that freaking Houdini performed on. The Marx Brothers gig there, Burns and Allen, all these absolute groundbreaking, legendary acts. So just the vibe from being in that theater is amazing. And it's I think it was built in 1896, something like that. And it is that theater that you see on TV where all the catacombs are in the back and the Phantom of the Opera hides out up there and all that stuff. But it is such a treat to do that theater, because that just cranks my boat to realize all the neat people who have performed throughout the years there. And something else, us performers, as we tour, we have a what we call a rider in our contract, which is things that we need backstage, like the old no brown M&Ms in the dressing room type thing. That's what the rider is. My rider is pretty simple. Maybe a fruit tray, some bottled waters. But how much clout did Houdini have to say, okay, I'll come do a show at your place, but you got to cut a hole in the floor? And they went, okay. That just impresses the fire out of me.
But are you going to be standing over that? Are you not afraid that you're going to fall through that hole or something?
I'm going to stand a little bit closer to the audience.
What if they don't maintain it like they should?
I don't know how OSHA approved it is, but to me that is so cool that all these iconic, legendary people perform there. So that's neat as I'll get out to me.
And you should have been around at Christmas. I'm telling you, it looked like a Christmas card out there on the square in
Oh,
Abbeville.
I bet. I bet. And that's one thing I like about, and I mean no put down at all when I say a small town. I say that with love. I love small towns because they do it upright. They are not too hustle bustle to care and to appreciate beautiful things. That's why I like working in what some would call rural areas. You know, I did my time in the big cities and all like that, and I like the people and the vibe and the just the atmosphere of smaller towns. I like it when people sound like me. That helps.
I do too. That's always nice to hear. So I understand you live in LA now.
Yes, I do. Mobile, Alabama.
Well,
We don't live in Mobile. Donna, I say that to try to act fancy. We live out in the county because we could not afford to build to code because 3-strand copper wiring is real expensive. So we have 2-strand wiring, which is fun because I get to tell my wife every day to quit cutting the light on. That's why your hair's frizzy. You're touching metal. So we're in a subdivision. We're in a subdivision. I tell people from the stage, it's the name of it is Falling Values.
falling for a subdivision.
Do what?
Is that a good idea to have that name?
Well, I made it up. It's
Okay.
the
I didn't know.
Dominion, if you
I
want to
didn't
get
know.
fancy. I make fun of my water pressure too. Our water pressure's so low the refrigerator makes dry ice.
Oh, you could sell that. I'm
So
trying to get a way for you to make extra income.
you're
I mean,
right. That's
I know you're
right.
doing well, but you always have to look, what can I add to my income? That would be a good idea for you.
Well, speaking of, I have a legal line of moonshine on the market,
Do
which
you?
I don't push that very much. You know, I'm on that TV show Moonshiners on the Discovery Channel.
Hmm.
I've been on that show for 10 seasons now. The show itself is in season 15, but I've only been on for 10 years. And Donna, they have taught me how to build a moonshine still, how to mash in, how to do the run, and all that stuff. And so part of that being on that show, a distillery in North Carolina called me up and they go, dude, we want to put your name on a moonshine jar and throw you some bucks for every jar sold. I went, well, that'll be cool. And once again, revenue stream.
There you
So,
go. See, you're looking ahead.
right. So we have that going, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't push that product. I don't advertise it on my social media because the church we go to a beautiful little church where we have so many people who have come out of addiction, they've come out of incarceration, and it's non-denominational. People come there, they change their lives, they get right with God. We see miracles every Sunday that we're there, Donna. And so just out of respect and paying tribute to all these people who have overcome, I don't advertise it or anything like that. It was just sort of a perk of doing the show. But we like different revenue streams. We are on the cusp of having a deal with a tea company. You mentioned sweet tea earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And because we will not sign the contract until tomorrow or the next day, I don't want to divulge yet, but
I hope
we will also be in the sweet tea business coming up.
you got to be in the sweet tea business. Okay,
I'll
we've got
send you some. I will send you some when my signature flavor comes, and you will dig it.
I will dig it. You know I will. You know what?
And I will say this. I will give this hint. It is a honey lemon flavored tea.
Oh my goodness,
So
honey.
that's right up your alley.
That's right up my alley. Absolutely, it is. You know something? We've got to call it today. I can't believe how fast the show went by. Thank you so much for being with me. I can hardly wait to see you again. No, let's do this on a regular basis, okay?
I would love to, Donna. And I
Absolutely.
love you being my brand new best friend in the whole wide world.
I do too. I'm so excited. Again, thank you so much. And everybody go out and see him, okay? We're going to have a special run on this show right here on Friday. And Phil is going to send you a copy of it as well. But again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Continue sending email. You know it makes my day. Donna@donnasedge.com. Donna@donnasedge.com. Hope you have a great, great day. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.